Good morning. Today we are going to cover the all report for Emilia. And this is something that we do every single morning. We want to have this completed and sent off to Emilia and CH Robinson by 9:30 at the absolute latest, but as soon as possible in reality, because CH Robinson uses this to provide our sailing schedule, which tells us the LTL drop when those LTL orders need to ship, and Emilia uses this as a heads up on what orders they can invoice their customers by the end of the day. It's a really easy process, but we will start right now. So you want to log into Ramp, and this is essentially just a snapshot into our system. So you want to log into Ramp, Warehouse Documents, and Warehouse Shipment Orders. And we'll just do a snapshot of the last 30 days because that should be more than enough information for them. We want to look up all Emilia orders for the last 30 days. And I filter this by status so that I can change the Excel sheet pretty easily. We're going to export this to file. And since this is something that we do on a daily basis, I usually call it all report with the date. .xls. We'll get that pulled up. And now we're just going to clean it up a little bit. So Emilia already knows their customer name, so we can take this out. Oh, let's not do that. So we can take the customer name out. We want to leave the order number, obviously, because it's a reference point. Now, the carrier name and routing fields for Emilia are a little bit different than what we use them for other customers. Since this is an EDI account, the carrier name has to read RBTW or RBT in order to, I guess, send the 945s or the 943s, all the information that goes through the system. This is a crucial point for everything to actually go through like normal. The only exception to this rule is ground shipments. As you can see, we have FedEx Express. Since this is a ground shipment, one, we need this in the carrier field so all the information can pull over in the tracking number and everything. But they are okay with that. That information sends over for them fine in small parcel shipments. But everything else needs to read RBTW or RBT. The routing field, we use this field for a couple of different things. If we are unable to allocate the orders, it's remaining open for whatever reason, we'll put notes in this routing field. So for instance, this order was last allocated, or she last tried to allocate it on 7/25. We didn't have inventory to fulfill the order, so that's her little note. The last time I tried to allocate this was on 7/25. I'll try again in a couple of days if it hasn't already passed its ship date. We also use this field, see another note, hold pressure on. We also use this field as our carrier information for anything other than small parcel. So normally the carrier information is in the carrier field, but we use this as our routing field. Carrier Pro number is so they can track this information. Document date, so we know when it dropped. This is especially helpful for C.H. Robinson when providing the sailing schedule. A lot of the times they will only send information for orders that dropped the previous day. Since this is a daily report, they will only send the orders that dropped the previous day to tell us when they need to ship. So that is why we have some of those notes in the routing field. Our status, we obviously need that to know what status the order is in. We can take out the document status, routing status, and priority. We'll need to leave the PO number and the customer order number. We can take out the warehouse bill of lading, the wave number, all the way to the requested delivery date. We want to keep the requested delivery date, the requested ship date, and then the actual ship date. This is helpful for C.H. Robinson on the orders that we actually ship, so they can kind of keep track of transportation with their carriers on that end. And now we can remove the actual delivery date, consignee name, all the way to the ship to name. And we will need the ship to city and ship to state. We don't need the postal code. And we can delete everything all the way over to quantity ordered. We want the quantity ordered, quantity shipped, and quantity open. And everything past that can be deleted as well. So finally, this is what our all report looks like. We have our order number, our carrier name, our routing field, our carrier pro number, document date, status, customer PO, customer order number, requested delivery date, requested ship date, actual ship date, ship to name, ship to city, ship to state, and then the quantity ordered, quantity shipped, and quantity open. This is obviously helpful for C.H. Robinson and Emilia. It's helpful for C.H. Robinson so they can help, or it helps them create the bill of ladings. They know how many orders are actually allocated. That's what this quantity ship field is. And it also helps Emilia as it shows how many ordered or how many cases were cut from their original drop. We also have another report that we do, that we provide for this the shortages for Emilia, but this is just again a little snapshot to give them a heads up. Now, once we have everything cleaned up a little bit, I'm going to filter this and put our status in Word form. It creates it in a numeric number, but I mean a numeric status, but that doesn't mean anything to C.H. Robinson or Emilia. So we are going to change these to the Word forms. 0 is open. And then you have sorry, I wanted to make sure. And then we have partially allocated. Then we have allocated. Then we have picked. And ship complete. And lastly, we have canceled. Now, the majority of your canceled orders will be back orders with the -1s. Very occasionally, you'll find an LTL order that we couldn't allocate. We didn't have enough product to allocate. Or, see, we have all of these, and you can see by our notes field, we didn't have inventory to allocate them. But the majority of the orders that are canceled are going to be your back orders. Just as a general rule. So once we have everything updated, we'll select all, and I like to make them pretty. So we'll put lines around the whole sheet. All borders. And as I stated earlier, Emilia uses this as a heads up of what we'll be shipping. And this is not an exact science. Just because we highlight it doesn't mean it's actually shipping, and just because we don't highlight it doesn't mean it's not shipping. But this is just our way of kind of giving them a heads up of what to expect to ship today. So our way of doing that is anything that is picked for our all report, we are expecting that to ship that day. It's picked, it's ready to go. That should leave our dock no problem. Now, the downfall with this is if we do highlight it, we have to provide a reason to Emilia as to why it did not actually ship. So we want to make sure that this is as accurate as possible, and the only way we can do that is to highlight what is actually picked. Once we have everything that is picked highlighted, we will create an email and send it to, we'll send this to Emilia, Sharon, Stephanie Hankins, and Daniel Surratt. So Emilia Personal Care at chrobinson.com. That is the Emilia team at C.H. Robinson. As I stated before, they need this to provide our sailing schedule. We'll go over that in just a little bit as well. Sharon and Daniel are the operations people at Emilia. You'll talk to them the majority of the time for orders. Sharon is your first contact and Daniel is your second. Stephanie is with accounting, and as I said earlier, Emilia uses this report as a heads up on what invoices they can be expecting by the end of the day. So Stephanie is with accounting, and that's why she needs this report. We also include our Emilia team at HWC because this all report can pretty much answer all of the questions that anyone has. It's just a snapshot into our system. We also include in this all report body of the email any orders that did not ship the previous day. So if you remember, there was one picked order in the all report. It was a Rite Aid shipment, and it wasn't assigned to a carrier yet. We have not received a bill of lading for it, but if we had, let's just pretend that YRC was the carrier for this order, we would let the team know the order number was for a Rite Aid shipment and YRC did not pick it up, but it's scheduled to move today. That lets them know, yes, we already have all the information we need. We already have our bill of lading, and it was scheduled to move today, so it's not late, but it is still on our dock. And we would do that for any of the orders that were still in essentially still on our dock, and that can be provided on the dock check as well. once we have all of the information, so all statuses for the last 30 days of all the orders for Emilia, all orders that are expected to ship today, so anything that is in a picked status as of the all report, and then what is left on our dock, any orders that were not picked up, that all goes in our all report email. Once all that information has been provided, we send it to the parties and we wait for our sailing schedule to come from C.H. Robinson. And they just sent that over, so I will do my next video on how to read the sailing schedule and how to get our numbers from that. Let me know if you have any questions.